the more I'm kind of coming to the realization that there's only a couple key people in key points of power in each country or state that really can make a huge impact. Hey guys, welcome back. Got another video for you. This topic is on time management and what you put your energy and focus into, and specifically about the news cycle. You know, back in 2016, I started college, and back then, on top of school and, work on the side, I listened to a couple podcasts, like political podcasts, news. I kept up with the news cycle, read the Wall Street Journal, that kind of thing. And I found that over the next couple years, while I was in school and, listening to these podcasts and educating myself on the political stance in the U.S. at that time, I found that one, I was not happy. I would listen to these podcasts and read the news and be actively discouraged every day. And two, I felt helpless. I wasn't in control of almost anything in my life. The only thing I could really focus on and really influence was my grades, which I worked hard on. And all these hours listening to politics, the next big crisis happening, it wore me down. And so after a couple years of this and getting closer to graduation, I made the decision to just stop listening to news. If it's financial decisions or the market, I keep an eye out more towards it still, just because that can affect me financially. But who's being elected, the global war on terror, all these external events, I really don't pay attention almost at all to it. Political votes, election cycles, even though I still vote, I don't really pay attention to the election cycle itself now. Geopolitical combat and war that's occurring now with Ukraine and Hamas and the Israel and Palestine conflict right now, that type of stuff I almost entirely ignore. When Ukraine started, I watched about news for the first week or so, and similar thing to this most recent conflict with Palestine and the Gaza Strip and Israel. I read the headline, I watched a couple videos about it just to kind of get an understanding of what actually happened, and then I stopped. And principally, I did it because I couldn't intake this news and this, constant news cycle without being not agitated, but just annoyed. It pains me to see worry and death and destruction and all this stuff. It's just inducing a sense of helplessness that I don't need any more helplessness in my life already, okay? And I couldn't do anything about it. And so I asked myself, okay, one, if I'm listening to this and it makes me feel a way that I don't want to feel. I feel anxious, I feel more anxiety about it. Two, it just doesn't make me feel happy. It doesn't make me feel good, And then three, it's what can I really do about this? And the answer is, for most of us, we can't do anything. If you already vote, you already do all you can, really. Unless you are really committed to basically putting your life into the political system and trying to do that, which I'm not at the moment. And so I kind of came to that realization, and after a couple years in college and kind of going through this aggressive news cycle every week, basically, a couple hours a week I'd be invested listening to podcasts, watching videos on the subject, I pretty much stopped cold turkey. And I haven't really looked back since, and I haven't regretted it. The one thing I have changed a little bit is that I have continued to keep up. I cut it all off for a while, but I've circled back into the financial area just because there are opportunities that I've missed in the past just because I wasn't paying attention to the market. But other than that, I pretty much don't listen to anything. I don't track it actively. I pretty much hear all of my news from friends or an occasional YouTube video that comes up. And maybe one or two independent journalists. That's it. And to be honest, my life's improved drastically yeah, there's not much to say here other than I would definitely, if you have anxiety or you have definite issues with kind of extra noise in your mind, you can't put out a certain conflict in your mind, you feel nauseous or worried about it, just let it go. That's what I found to do. And, the more I'm kind of coming to the realization that there's only a couple key people in key points of power in each country or state that really can make a huge impact. Everything else is very gradual at best, very gradual. And if you're not one of those people and you still want to make an impact, then you should be voting. And then also, you can financially support someone. Other than that, though, don't worry about it. It's not up to you, and it's not in your influence of expertise or ability to change anything. So yeah, you really should just shut it all out. I would say with the exception of financial news and analysis, because you can still make income and hopefully make an influence and gain on that to grow businesses or look for opportunities of jobs. But other than that, cut it all out. Just put it into it. It's not really worth it. And it makes, at least for me, it made a big difference in my overall level of happiness and contentment. There wasn't an additional worry that I had to worry about something. It allowed me to refocus on what really mattered to me at the time in this moment. That's my advice.